Hey everybody, we're going to be introducing a new project today. It's not a new project for us per se, but it's a new project for the channel, and it's something that I'm really excited about. It's different, it's unique. You probably won't ever see another one. And one of the things I really love is a really good custom project, something that's challenging, something that I haven't done before, something that's going to have to extend the ability that we all have to accomplish something just at the edge of our reach. Without further ado, here is our 70s Sterling kit car. It is a VW chassis over a fiberglass body and less than, I think, 1,500 were ever built. I'm going to introduce you to the owner of the vehicle, and we're going to take the chassis down to the shop and start working on fitting a 2000 Subaru 2.5 overhead cam motor, which will modernize the power plant for this. This is the owner of the Sterling and a close friend of mine for the last decade. Let me introduce Travis.
Hey, thanks, Alex. So we're going to talk about this car and why I bought this scary kind of car that looks like something from a junkyard. So years ago, when I was a kid, I was at a gas station and somebody pulled up in a completed Sterling Nova, and it was magnificent. My friends and I thought it was like a Lamborghini, and the guy explained to us that he built it. Now later we would learn that kit cars aren't that popular with car collectors because they're like, I'm gonna put some fiberglass on a Volkswagen chassis, and people just don't have a lot of respect for them, but you're making this car from the ground up. So that's one of the challenges and one of the beauties of this car. It's like a big puzzle that you customize as you go and you learn about as you're building it, so you can make your dream car. Now, this particular car, the Sterling, I saw it at that gas station, and then later I saw it in the movie CannonBall Run 2, I think, and then it showed up again in Death Race 2000, one of my favorite films. And then it shows up again when I saw Condorman. So these were films that every time I saw those films, I was like, oh, I know that car. And I'd get super excited about. So a couple years ago, Alex and I were hanging out, and Alex is like, you know, what type of car would you want if you did a different car? Because I've already had some nice cars over the years. And I said, you know, if I ever did another car, a real fancy car, I think I'd want to do a Sterling Nova. And he's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a car, dude. It's like a Nova? And I'm like, no, it's not a Nova. It's a kit car that came out in the late 60s, early 70s that people built up. And so I had to show him pictures, and Alex still not quite getting it like most people do. A year and a half later, he sends me a link and said, hey, is this what you're looking for? And it was this car. I was like, yes. Where is it? How do we get it? And so within a couple hours, Alex had gotten a hold of the guy who had this thing sitting in his yard since the 80s when he started the project, and then he just stopped. He was a car collector as well. He just never finished the Sterling. And so we swiped my card within probably 2 or 3 hours of seeing that ad. And I had Alex on it with a truck picking it up the next day, and we started project planning this car. Now, unfortunately, COVID hit us, so we haven't been able to work on it, but you know, we're all doing good now. Things are looking better, and we have the chassis we want. And this particular Sterling has something completely different from any other Sterling I've ever seen, which is a wide body kit.
Yes.
That was something this guy did in the 80s, along with change the headlights to be flip-up lights instead of the normal intake lights.
Like on the 80s Camaros, you know?
And Alex, I know you want to put the chassis on top of the body, but I really think we should put the body on top of the chassis. You're not getting the joke because you don't remember what you recorded.
A VW chassis over a fiberglass body.
And once we get it running into a different stage, we'll begin looking at how we're going to get the body work done and the interior work done so it looks like something sci-fi from the 80s. And if it all goes really well, I haven't told Alex this yet, but as soon as he gets everything done, I'm going to make him put an electric engine in it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I'm 6'1".
Yeah, I'm definitely taller than you.
Okay.
I'm lying.
And there's no floor pan or no seat in this, and I'm going to get in it.
Yeah.
Should I close it?
Yeah, totally. No, wait, don't. Actually, I don't know if we can get you back out.
No, we can get back out. I did have done it once before.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Well, now I'm sitting on the ground, and let's see how close my head gets.
It's going to come down.
It'll close on its own. All right, now get back up. I think you're going to be driving like this.
Oh, my God. Yeah, totally. I'll be totally okay. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. All right, let's try to get you out. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Anytime now. You got this. Anytime now.
I think I need some more ab workouts because I could barely push that thing up. I thought I was trapped for a second. We're gonna have hydraulics on this, right?
Yeah.
It had hydraulics. You're not gonna manually push this up each time.
I mean, it's really up to you. You're the one doing all the work.
Oh yeah. These cars always seem funner when you're kids and you can get in and out and things easy. But you can only accomplish dreams as adults for some reason. The one thing that was missing from this Sterling purchase was a title for the chassis, as well as a chassis that looked like it had any structural integrity. So here is a 1977 independent rear suspension bug chassis that we do have the title for. I guess I can finally give you the title today. I've been holding on to it for a year for some reason.
Maybe because of the beep.
Beep.
I just want to point out how beautiful and perfect this chassis is. Look at that condition.
Yeah.
It's probably the best looking chassis I've ever seen. It's probably the only chassis I've ever seen.
That's not true. The other one looks worse.
I didn't see the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it disintegrated before I ever got to it.
Yep.
Alex has to tow it backwards because the brakes are frozen.
How would that happen?
I don't know. So that's the transmission with the overdrive?
Yeah, it's we looked up the gear ratios. That's a 4-speed with an overdrive. Should give us some decent mileage.
I'm going to point out that if we switch to electric, we don't need a transmission.
We'll need a differential, though.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
We're going to go 2 miles down the road. We'll see how it fares.
Sounds good.
These lug nuts were loose, and there was only 2 of them, so I thought maybe we'll add a 3rd just for fun. All right, after all that escapade, we're back here at our garage, our home garage. We've gathered a couple of the things that we're gonna be test fitting onto this chassis today. We have one freshly taken apart Subaru EJ25 Series 2 from a 2000 Subaru Outback here. It's got new timing belt, new head gaskets, new water pump on it, which is the basic refresh you need to do the minute you buy a Subaru with over 100,000 miles. And we have some other parts that will hopefully adapt. One Subaru computer, potentially slightly modified. One wiring harness made specifically to put a Subaru motor in a Volkswagen chassis with labels. Good thing I rushed them to build this.
A year later.
Yeah, wait, what was the ship date? April of 2020.
Right before things got really weird.
Yeah.
Hey, that's his clutch.
Yeah, but it's only the pressure plate. There's literally another box inside this box. That is the heavy part. Oh wait, there's something in here. It's the adapter plate. This is the clutch release bearing. Very cool. Holy crap. It's the flywheel. Look at this monster. Looks pretty good. Okay, this is going to require the instruction manual for sure. I'm not yet understanding how this goes together, but it looks like we have the parts, so that's cool. None of you guys read the instruction manuals, do you? I think we are going to actually give this a browse and then come back with you guys in a couple minutes. So we have our Kennedy adapter, and that's going to adapt our Volkswagen transaxle to go under our Subaru motor. But the first thing we need to do is apparently put some studs with some Loctite in there. So I'm gonna find one that's the starter bolt. Also, don't watch this channel for advice on how to do things. Don't trust that I'm doing it right, because I'm just figuring it out. This is mostly for entertainment.
Wait, I'm paying you?
I'll get it figured out. I just might not be on this take. You know what I love is when you comment below about how you could do it better, although you don't do it.
Comment below with your address and contact information for me.
I'm not reading the instruction manual because I already know what I'm doing. You're reading the instruction manual. Guys don't ask for directions. We've put the adapter plate on. We've got the studs coming out that are going to go in the Volkswagen transmission. We've torqued all our outer bolts to the specified 35 foot-pounds. And now we have this monstrously heavy flywheel. It needs to be bolted onto our clean crankshaft.
Got a nut inside that flywheel.
Oh, dude. It's not the only nut in this room. Okay. Woo! You picked up a few little things. All the things you don't know you need till you're actually building it. The ironic thing is we don't know that we have everything we need. All right, guys. Well, there's our engine and our adapter. Our transmission, and wow, we did buy a few things at the auto parts store. We even got a new starter. Well, we're just gonna try to get it all together. Maybe if we get far enough, we might be able to test start it. So we've got enough stuff here to work on the wiring harness, to connect a battery, and put oil in the engine. So that
Alex,
could be
stop
exciting.
playing with your phone.
That's not the way. Rub it metal side down. What? I brushed my teeth, the plastic side against the teeth. What are you talking about? So we picked up a clutch alignment tool at the auto parts store, and we have inserted the clutch disc and pressure plate onto the Kennedy adapter. With the alignment tool, we should be able to get it straight and centered in the bore. That will allow us to slide the clutch disc on our newly cleaned up input shaft. You know, after tightening down some bolts here, we should be able to mate them together. Welcome back. Got an engine. We're gonna slide it right in. No problem. Whoa, buddy. You want to go in, that's for sure. Oh yeah, yeah, she's coming in. Right, she pulled it. I have a feeling that unless I tell a really good joke, that all you're gonna see is this in time lapse. You guys hear about the time I got arrested? It was around midnight. I looked at the clock and it was all hands up. See, we got through a bolt. Nothing's more satisfying than a job well done. And we're cinching up.
Is that bad?
No, it's good. Now we can put the starter on after this. All right, well now, start assembling the intake and put some oil in this motor and get right back to you guys. So, see you soon.
Nothing's leaking.
It's pouring out everywhere. Travis didn't tighten the bolt.
What bolt?
Castrol Synthetic, the team amateurs trust.
It's true. Yeah, I should give it a quick tour because no one's seen the engine in a while.
Yeah. You can, we're gonna see what happens here. This is gonna be dangerous. Everybody is getting dangerous. Now this battery might be pretty weak, so. Well, we did get some turning over. We got a weak battery. Well, it's the end of day 2. It's been a long, arduous day, but the progress has been monumental. You know, the engine's made it to the transmission, alternators in place, most of the engine wiring harness is installed, and the best part, I say this kind of sarcastically, but is my bucket fuel system. Look at that. Fuel in and fuel out. Travis has turned out to be an accomplished solderer that has criticized my own soldering abilities.
He dry solders. He's all about dry soldering.
Hey.
No lube.
Whoa. Sometimes she likes it that way.
No. Solder doesn't like to be dry.
Well, anyway, good thing it's your car and you're getting it soldered the way you want.
The way NASA wants.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got the battery in here and we got an engine computer over there. We have a temporary ignition switch that we picked up.
$8.99.
Yeah. Turn in this key tomorrow. Yeah, vroom, maybe. But yeah, we bought new battery cables. Things are looking up. There's our new starter in there. Our intake installed, oil filled. It's a pretty cool project. All right, that's a wrap for tonight. I am gonna get some rest, maybe watch some Star Trek, come back, and I'm gonna see you guys in the morning. Welcome back. It's morning, and I'm still tired, and I'm sore. Anyway, we got this exhaust manifold ready. That way I'm not just shooting straight flames right onto the floor near the thing of gasoline. You know, maybe I'll shoot them slightly off to the side. Throttle cable, zip ties. Things are getting ridiculous. Bucket of fuel.
Whoa, smoke. Oh, that's spray. You're spraying fuel everywhere.
Spraying fuel.
Yeah. Like you're misting fuel.
The fuel pump thing worked.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna start. You ready?
Yeah, I'm rolling. Scared to death, but rolling.
We did get engine speed. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Got up to 203. You didn't see this.
Oh no. You don't think that's too much?
Totally fine. Man, Mike, ready?
Yeah, scared.
Yeah, that thing started. I'm not sure it's running off the fuel pump, but
Yeah.
you know, it did run off my brake clean. Do you know what this means?
It means that this damn thing...
This thing works! I'd like to see if I can get it started with a fuel pump. I'd like to keep working and make sure that we can get it started on the fuel pump. That will tell me that the injectors are firing, because by putting in flammable liquid into the intake directly, I eliminate the entire fuel system. My guess is not enough fuel. It runs a lot better now. What do you think of that? Woo! It was running under its own fuel! That pump is definitely weak, but not so weak that we couldn't get a test off. And since we don't know what fuel tank we're going to use, I don't want to just waste money on a pump. Oh, you know what we wanted to check out is that
See if it was
if we could get the wheels moving. And now we're going to stay out of the way because we're in gear. And we're going to see if the transmission turns and if the clutch works. We don't have a cooling system on this, so it's going to have to be a short test. So that's what I thought might happen. These brakes were stuck. This one's obviously easier to move than that one, but we need to free up that side more if we were going to get motion from both sides. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I think that's where we wanted to get to this weekend. Very cool. Well, it's been an intense 3 days here, but now we have an engine that starts, the clutch works, and the drivetrain moves. But we couldn't have done it without the help of these two vendors that make custom parts for these Subaru to Volkswagen swaps. The first one that we used was Kennedy Engineering Products. Now they make the adapter plate and the flywheel for this vehicle, pretty much the de facto product to do this on your Volkswagen chassis. And the other guy that I ended up using was Subaru. Subaru made a conversion wiring harness for our vehicle. I took the Subaru harness out about a year ago and I sent it to him via mail, and then he stripped the harness down, organized it, and modified it so that there wouldn't be codes on the Subaru computer for the stuff that wasn't attached to it. And it was way more efficient than me doing it myself like I did on the LSJ Fiero project, because on that project I had 40 hours in the harness, and I also paid my friend Rob for over 20 hours. If I could have paid someone $500 to do that, it would have been a no-brainer. So recommending Subaru and Kennedy Engineering Products. They did a great job, and even though we didn't open their boxes for a year, here it is, plugged it in, worked right away. So it's been an eventful few days, Travis. Did we get farther than you expected, or not as far?
Well, I gave you a goal when we bought the car, 1 year, to having an engine on wheels that ran. And that goal was by the end of June of 2021. Now, at the time when I said that, I was like, that's a year out. There's no way Alex is going to take a whole year. There's no Parkinson's law. Alex, I have to say that I am glad that in 3 days we did a year's worth of work.
Yeah, the job will expand to take up all available time.
So everyone can blame the last year on me. Had I not given Alex that deadline, the world wouldn't have gone into chaos to force this project to take the full year.
Yeah, it was definitely your fault.
Yeah.
Now that it's running, Travis, what do you think your next steps are? What do you want to do in the future to this project?
That's what I'm paying you for.
Well,
I gotta say that I did notice that when we get the engine going, this engine just rumbles like a little go-kart. And one of the goals to this whole project is to make it feel like a modern car, which means we don't want that Volkswagen go-kart shaking going on.
Yeah, I didn't quite anticipate that it would be shaking like this, but now that I think about it, every Volkswagen Bug and Bus seems to be doing that, and now there's a big heavier motor out here, so that's going to only make it worse. But I've never done older Volkswagen, and maybe one of you guys have. If you know what you would do to make this just a little bit tighter and a little bit less vibrating and kind of support this motor better, then comment down below or send us an email at projectlsjfiero@gmail.com and let us know what you think about what we should do to kind of support this a little bit more, make this a little bit more modern.
I mean, the only other things I can think of are like cosmetic things and the ride. Like I said, we want it to feel like a modern car. So that suspension system, really, I don't know what you're going to do there, honestly.
We were thinking about doing some sort of air ride for this. Maybe that's another thing. If you know about Volkswagen air rides, got a recommendation to give a smooth, gentle ride on this, or someone who makes a cool kit for this, let us know, because we actually might use your idea. And if we use your idea,
can we give them a t-shirt?
Yeah, if we use your idea, we'll send you a Lightspeed Fiero and Retro Rides t-shirt, which are going to be coming out in the next few weeks anyway. So you'll be one of the first to get them.
Alex, before we go, I just want to show something that blew my mind, because I'm not a mechanic person. But when we went to pick up this chassis out of a garden next to this engine, you told me these tires didn't move. These things were stuck, so we actually had to tow it backwards, the front end out, which was hilarious watching him lose control. You told me we were going to use a sledgehammer to get these things going, and I thought you were lying. I just want to show everyone that is one of the most amazing things that's happened for me, who has no idea what's going on, is that those things move so easily now.
To be fair, I made you use the sledgehammer.
Yeah, I was like, teek, teek. You're like, hit it. And I'm like, teek.
Well, also, our friend and savior, Lord PB Blaster.
Insert meme.
this car really likes people blaster. You know, when do you think you can come out and work on this and star another episode of this retro ride series?
I ain't got a job. I'm semi-retired. So maybe after we get whatever we're gonna figure out with the transmission and the suspension order, I'll come back out and help you put those in.
I hope you enjoyed this new installment of our retro ride series. You know, we haven't given up on Fieros. We're gonna try to balance our Fiero projects with some other really interesting projects and expanding what we do here on the channel. I think it's a direction that you all are really gonna enjoy. And let me know what you think in the comments. As always, we still have our merch store up. We have hats and t-shirts available. If you haven't, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you can hear all about all the new projects that we're doing and more about this project as soon as we release it. I'll see you guys soon.
You smell.